Hi there, it's Jodi. Thanks for joining me today. I'm excited to show you what I have been making with the stamps that begin with a dream. And this might be one that you've missed in the new annual catalog. If you have not already received yours, please reach out and let me know. I'm happy to send one to you. In the very back, all the way back on page 179, you're going to see something that's called Stampin Rewards. So on this chart, there's Stampin Rewards. You can get free product, you can get half off items, and then there are 3 stamp sets and a package of designer paper on here that are exclusively for Stampin Rewards. Really briefly, you can earn Stampin Rewards when you place an order that's at least $150. You can do that yourself. You can do that by gathering orders from a couple friends, whatever you want to do. It does not have to be the traditional party, either in person or virtual or anything. We certainly can, but we don't have to have a party to get you Stampin' Rewards. The more you order, whether it's you individually or you and some friends, the more you're going to get free. And these items on page 179 can only be chosen with your Stampin' Rewards. You can't just straight out purchase these. You can only get them by redeeming your Stampin' Rewards. And so that's what Begin with the Dream is. It's one of those stamp sets that you can use your Stampin' Rewards on. So I'm going to use a couple of images out of this set, and I'm also going to show you the new in colors, which I just can't get enough of. So first, this is our card base. It's basic white. It's 8.5 by 5.5. Whenever I use basic white, because it's thicker, I always do a scored line at 4.25. Just because, like I said, it's thicker and I want to get a nice crisp fold. If you're using thicker cardstock and you just try to line it up and do it with your fingers, sometimes you get those little bubbly lines in here, and I didn't want that. So I scored it first. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is take a piece of basic white. This is our regular basic white, not the thick. I only use the thick for card bases and when I am like watercoloring or using Stampin' Blends. So otherwise, for my layers, I just use the basic white. Now, what I'm going to do is something you're not going to see me do very often at all, but I am just going to take my adhesive and do some long strips on here. The reason I'm doing that is just because of what I'm going to place on top. It just kind of makes it easier. So I've got long strips, you can see them, of that adhesive, of my Stampin' Seal. And now I'm going to take designer paper from those gorgeous 5 new in colors. All of our designer paper, double-sided. There's other patterns that come in this package as well. These are the ones I chose for this card. So this piece, this layer happens to be 5 inches wide. There are 5 in colors, and so I cut them each 1 inch wide to make it really easy. So I'm just going to take this one all the way on the edge and press it down into that adhesive I've already got there. Then I'm going to take, so this one was Starry Sky. I don't remember if I said that. This one, which I'm just noticing really matches my outfit today. This is called Sweet Sorbet. And so that's going to be the next one. I'll just line it up right here, press it down. Then I'm doing Tahitian Tide. And you can see I'm just kind of alternating between the polka dots and the plaid pattern. This one is Orchid Oasis and then Tahitian Tide. So I've got all of that. What I like to do is turn it over. Oh, did I grab? Yes, I did. Over here. Just little imperfections when I'm cutting that designer paper. So I like to go back with some scissors and just trim up so I have a nice clean edge there. I'm going to do the same thing over on this side. Okay, so now I've got all 5 of those gorgeous in colors, and I'm going to attach it to this layer of Orchid Oasis. So I'll just put some adhesive on here and attach it to Orchid Oasis. And then this is going to go right onto my basic white card base. Okay, so this is how I showcase those new gorgeous in colors. Now it's time to start stamping with this set. So I went ahead, I've already shown you these dies, But seriously, if you haven't already ordered them, you're going to want to. They are called Stylish Shapes dies, stitched circles, squares, and banners. I cut one of the squares in advance. You can see the stitch line. And what I'm going to do is take the heart from Begin with a Dream, as well as this Kindness Changes the World, one heart at a time. So I'm going to use Parakeet Party, which is this green. And I'm actually going to stamp off. So I'm going to just grab, I need to. I think this scrap paper is so pretty. I sometimes hate to even stamp on it, but that's what it's for, right? I need to just do it. So I'm going to stamp off once and then onto my stitched square. So it just gives it a lighter color. If I was to do it directly on here, let me see which way I did it. I'm going to show you this way just as a point of comparison. And maybe we'll like this way better. Who knows? So that was Parakeet Party. This is Orchid Oasis. And this is the greeting. Kindness changes the world, one heart at a time. So I can do this right over top the heart. And of course, I'll be adding it to the card like that. So you can see what that looks like. What I also like is just the lighter image here. So when I stamped off with that heart first, you're going to see more of a dynamic between the heart and the words. So you still see the heart in the background, but the words kind of pop off a little bit more. So tell me what you think. This way, this is how I designed it, but maybe you like this way better. I love the green color, the Parakeet Party, but I think in this case I do like it a little bit lighter just because I feel like the words pop a little bit more. So I'm sticking with that. Of course, you can do it however you would like to. I'm going to take some Stampin' Dimensionals and just put those on the back to pop it up onto the card. And then we have one more little thing to add. So this I'm just going to put, where do I want it? I don't want it quite in the middle. I'm going to offset it just a little bit here. Okay, so there we've got all 5 in colors, the awesome new dies, and then the 2 images from Begin with a Dream. The last thing I want to do is take some of our in color embellishments. These are matte decorative dots, and I'm going to just slide this out so that you can see all of our options, because that Sweet Sorbet, oh my goodness, the Sweet Sorbet is hidden up at the top there. So I have all of these options, and I can add a dot or 2 to this card. I think I'm going to go with the Sweet Sorbet. The other thing I want to point out, do you see how it's an ombre look? Do you see how over on this side, the dots are a little darker and then they fade and get lighter as you go to this side? I hope that's showing up well. It's beautiful, and I love the variety that it gives you when you're working with the in colors. So I'm going to take and put one of the Sweet Sorbet dots right up there. Just kind of pulls that color over to the side and draws even more attention to the focal point that we have here. You could certainly add more over here if you wanted to. I love that there's little ones as well as the larger ones. These are great embellishments, variety of sizes and colors. They're the matte decorative dots for our new in colors. Okay, so that's what I have for you today. I'm just still playing a lot with the in colors because I love them. And I wanted to make sure you knew that you could qualify for those exclusive Stampin' Rewards stamp sets and the designer paper, just having your own personal order or gathering a couple orders from friends. It doesn't have to be a party for you to get Stampin' Rewards. So I hope you enjoyed this card, and thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.